Anami Das, Chair of Albuquerque's Human Rights Board, thank you for joining me on New Mexico in Focus.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So late last month, the board released a draft report analyzing the city's handling of homeless people in Albuquerque, and the board found a number of issues with the city's practices and approach. Can you give us some background on how the report came to be and maybe describe the methodology y'all used a little bit?
For sure. The report itself came after a resolution that the board passed back in February, where we called for the public hearing that we just were discussing during the last month's meeting. And the report is the follow-up to that public hearing. The methodology that went into it was 6 months of me learning how to write a report, honestly. I don't have an academic background and I don't have a analytics background, but I do have lived experience of homelessness. So I knew that I wanted to convey the reality of that situation that so many folks are still going through. And so I got help from the Research, Investigation, and Policy Subcommittee from the board. But for the most part, this was months of me looking through city data, gathering reports from folks who live outside, and trying to figure it out along the way. It was very much a homegrown project.
Gotcha. In a moment, I want to get into some of the specific ways that you found the city violating folks' rights. But one question I want to ask is, did you speak to anyone in the mayor's office about this report as you were putting it together?
Yes, I spoke with an associate CAO, and I've met with a lot of the department directors for the city. I found that asking questions early on made it so that like anything that went into the report was already vetted by the city personnel. And yeah, I had a lot of participation from folks in the city while making this report.
Okay. I want to ask about the Tim Keller administration's reaction to the draft report when it came out. They sort of conveyed in a number of media interviews that they were blindsided. Were you surprised at all by that reaction?
Yeah, I was confused by the reaction because this is all I've been talking about with the city for the last 6 months. So the idea that they were blindsided is confusing, and I am curious like what went wrong in communication, or if they were even talking about the same report, because I've been pretty one note about this since at least February, but I've been pretty one note about this since August of 2022. So
okay. Let's get into it a little bit here. I want to let you know that we interviewed City Attorney Lauren Keefe this week as well. And she told us the city took particular exception to the following passage I'm about to read from the report. I'm quoting now: "The city's constant efforts to sweep encampments are subject to public scrutiny as being expensive, inefficient, inhumane, cruel, unusual, unproductive, traumatizing, criminal activities that worsen already existing hostilities between the residents and the people experiencing homelessness." Criminal is a pretty heavy word to use in this context. I wouldn't imagine that you did so lightly.
no, that is a that's something I take very seriously, and the entire experience of being homeless in Albuquerque, it feels like you're being robbed over and over again, and it feels like you're being abused. And I'm saying that from personal experience, and I'm not speaking for the board. And the board didn't approve that passage, at least by now. They haven't. It's still being considered. But yeah, I stand behind every word, and I'm curious what their objections were to that.
Essentially that you're accusing city employees of committing crimes. And from Ms. Keefe's perspective, at least, she didn't see what she thought to be a lot of evidence for that kind of an allegation in the report. But it sounds to me like that's based on your own experience and the 6 months of work with other unhoused folks that you put into compile the report.
Yeah, that's also something that has been public information since at least May 16th. I would say since March 1st. But uh, the injunction, when it was vacated, was partially vacated because the city would not follow it. And I, I'm still confused what the argument is there, and I think I would have to speak to Ms. Keefe myself to maybe talk that through.
Okay, and I want to get to next steps in a moment. The report offers several recommendations, including, for example, changes to the administration of Narcan, changes to the Albuquerque Police Department standard operating procedures. And then there are recommendations for deeper, sort of more systemic changes too. And those include adding housing status to the city's hate crime ordinance and the adoption of a homeless rights ordinance. I want to touch on those last two in particular, starting with the hate crime ordinance. Why did the board include that as a recommendation?
So that recommendation is actually the only one that the board has approved thus far. The rest are still being considered. Um, but it was something that came from talking with people who live outside. They experience a lot of theft. They experience a lot of abuse from, I don't know, from all sides, really. The amount of folks that I've worked with who are robbed regularly. And recently there has been an upward trend or an increase in the reports of random acts of violence committed against people experiencing homelessness. And this is also something that the city has considered in the past. The Native American Homelessness Task Force back in like 2015 made the same recommendation.
I remember that. I want to be clear though, when you say all sides, in terms of folks who live outside sort of taking it from all sides, you mean potentially other unhoused folks, other people who are just out in the world, and the city government, yes?
I'm not alleging any hate crimes from city government. I want to make that clear because that was a point of confusion
Okay.
in a few recent discussions. But and also with hate crimes ordinance, crimes between two people experiencing homelessness, it unlikely to be considered a hate crime based on housing status. But all of that to say that abuse and mistreatment are coming from all of those places, from other unhoused folks, from housed folks randomly in the streets, from city employees, from security guards, from APD, from MSD. It's constant.
Okay. Let's move to the homeless rights ordinance recommendation, which again, thank you for clarifying that one hasn't been approved yet, but why, from your perspective at least, is something like that necessary and what might it look like?
I think it's necessary because the kinds of conversations that occur when a board or a committee of people who haven't experienced homelessness are discussing homelessness, it becomes like, where do we put this funding, or how do we, like, it's very broad and there's no human touch to it. I imagined it as people such as myself who have recent experience of homelessness or recent experience of living in poverty, serving as a means of like oversight for service providers and advisory council. Like they would be there to assist with these efforts to provide quality services and hopefully to advocate for better treatment from like already established parts of the city.
Gotcha. I appreciate your mention of the human touch. I feel like these issues often get sort of painted with that very antiseptic brush in the news media as well. And I don't know that that's particularly helping any of these conversations. My last question is this: what are the next steps for this work, for the board, and for this report?
Based on the administration's response to the draft that was included in the agenda for last month, I've decided to spend this month inviting everyone from the city to come and attend the next meeting and participate in making a draft that is able to be received friendly. Like I've spent the last 6 months meeting with the city and inviting folks to meetings, and I've had minimal participation, and I'm hoping that that changes so that we could really build something positive together. My goal was not to make any allegations. I don't want to end up in court, but yeah, hopefully the city facilitates discussions and participates in discussions for making it the best it could be.
When and where is that meeting, and is it open to the public?
It is open to the public. It is on August 15th at 5 p.m. in City Council chambers.
Anami Das, thank you so much for being with us this week. We really appreciate it.
For sure. Thank you for having me.